everyone, welcome back to my channel. I just want to make a quick video today about some tips and tricks that I have when designing. I've made a couple of custom designs now, and I think I have enough experience, I guess, to kind of show you guys some tips and tricks. So I'm just going to go over some basics that you can use when customizing your own designs, and then I'll show you two designs that I came up with. I'll be making a basic cottagecore themed dress and a fairycore themed dress. So here are the basics. I'm just going to use a pre-made design that I've had for a while, and you can download this from the kiosk if you are interested. I'll leave my creator code at the end of the video and in the description. But here is the change palette option. This changes all of the colors to a preset palette in the game. Right beside it we have change color. This allows you to adjust the hue, the vividness, and the brightness. Next is the mirroring option. It's a really good shortcut whenever you need to make something symmetrical, and it saves a lot of time. Next up is the swap and copy option. So this lets you choose a specific part that you want to work on. It shows the front, the back, the left sleeve, and the right sleeve. So from here you can choose whatever part you need to work on, and it has some good options like copy, flip and copy, and swap. These are very helpful tools when you're designing, and it helps me a lot personally. Like especially for sleeves, if you need to copy something over without doing double the work, you can work smarter and just copy it over to the other sleeve. In the top right, you can see that the left and the right trigger allows you to use the dropper tool. The dropper tool just lets you easily select a color without having to look through your entire palette. A lot of times we have really similar colors, just like lighter and darker versions, so it's really easy to select the color without having to go through the hassle of looking through every single color. So now that we know some of the basics, I can begin a very basic cottagecore themed design. So I'm just going to open a blank design, and from here I'm going to choose the coat. Next, I'm going to turn on the mirroring to outline the collar and the cuffs faster. Now I'm just going to look through the palettes and just kind of pick a palette that's closest to the aesthetic I want. Cottagecore uses a lot of browns, greens, just like neutral colors. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and start on my collar. The first thing I always do whenever I use a coat design is define the collar, the sleeve cuffs, and the bottom edge of the coat. Here I just chose the black color so you can see what I'm doing more easily. But I'm just going to outline it, fill it with the same color real fast, and then just make adjustments as I go. For the most part, with the collar, it goes pretty fast just because I've done it so many times, but the bottom edge of the coat is always 2 pixels tall, and the cuffs are always 3 pixels tall. And here I'm just adjusting the colors and adding some depth with a slightly darker color, so I went with a brown tone. For the trim, instead of a regular coat, I'm going to be dividing this into a shirt and a skirt. So I'm just figuring out where the skirt is going to begin and the shirt ends, and I chose this line right here. I want the skirt to be a corduroy texture, so I'm adding dimension with spaced out lines. When you move to the front, remember that you ended with the line touching the end on the back side, so you can begin one space from the left. This is going to help you wrap around the lines evenly and avoid having the lines blend together and become thick on the sides. Here I'm just adding lighter colors to add texture to the corduroy skirt. Here's another color. There's no real rhyme or reason to why I'm putting specific colors in specific spots. I just want to make sure that it looks good on the mannequin to the left, because that's what it's going to look like when someone wears it. So I kind of just did 3 different versions of that blue. Finally, I am putting the beige color on the shirt, and I'm going to add dimension so that it looks tucked into the skirt. So the way I do that is just adding these little lines, and I'm going to adjust this color so that it's just slightly darker than the shirt color. So I did add some shirt and skirt buttons, but these are going to change. Always do what you think it looks best. I didn't think these looked great in the end, so now I'm changing the colors to gold, and the top buttons are also going to change to gold in a second. But I'm also adding a couple accents, so to the back of the skirt, to the sleeve cuffs, and all in gold so that it matches. Right here I am adding a couple of lines to the collar as a sort of design, just to help it stand out more versus just being a plain collar. And same to the back. Play around with the design and just add what you like. You can basically add anything to this design as long as you think it looks good. So this is a corduroy skirt, and I'm just going to try it on real fast and take off my bag so you can really see what it looks like. But I really like the way that this turned out. I love the colors. Personally, I am more of a cottagecore themed island versus fairycore, so I love all of the brown, as you can tell from this room. So here's the 360. A lot of dimension, and I think for a basic dress it looks really good. So moving on to the basic fairycore dress, I'm going to choose a blank design again, but this time I'm going to go to the dresses and select the balloon hem dress. This dress is so cute. I think it looks so frilly and so girly. And now I'm just looking through the palette. In the beginning I was going to do another brown warm color scheme, but I wanted to pick something lighter and colorful. So I'm just going to the current color that the dress is, and I'm going to use the change color option to change the hue, the vividness, and the brightness. So just play around with it until you find a color scheme that matches you or your island. So finally I chose this periwinkle color that I think is so cute. I love it. I think it goes great with the fairycore theme. If you end up recreating it, you can do a pink, a yellow, just anything that fits you. And then similar to the tucked in shirt on this dress, we want to do the same to the sleeves. I think this looks cute and adds dimension. And then just end up copying that to the other sleeve so you don't have to do it twice. For this dress, I wanted to do a lace trim, since I love a lace trim on the balloon hem dress. So just start with any color at the bottom, and then start adding spaced out pixels and close the top. Next, you're going to add more spaced out pixels and kind of just add lighter colors and blend it using interlocking pixels so that it blends more seamlessly in the end. You don't want it to be too harsh because then it just looks unnatural, but I find that using this technique works really well. And this light color that blends into the original dress color kind of makes it look a little bit scalloped, which I think is really cute. Once you're happy with it, just copy this pattern to the back. You don't have to do it twice. Next, I'm going to define the neckline by adding a cute blue collar and then outlining it in a darker color. This dress would also look cute with a scalloped collar. And on the back, I'm going to add a cute waist-high bow and a ribbon. And then we're going to define those by using slightly darker colors. In hindsight, looking at this, I would have moved the bow a little bit lower, but I still like the way that it looks. similar to the sleeves, we're going to add lines to create some dimension on the design. You're going to want to do the same in your recreation or whatever other design you choose if you want to add dimension. Finally, I added these 3 shirt buttons, and then I'm just adding the final finishing touches to the ribbon, just choosing a darker color and adding some more dimension. So here is the periwinkle dress. I think it looks so cute, and I'm gonna put it on real fast and show you up close. So here it is. I think the bottom is so cute. I like the way that the lines look on the sleeves and the bow on the back. And here are the final designs. They're super basic and simple to make, but they're still really cute. And obviously they're 2 very different vibes, but still equally as cute. And my creator code is on the screen if you would rather just download them than recreate. Anything can be added to these since they're so basic, so you can add aprons, overalls, cardigans, and so much more. Just make it your own. And I would love to see any of your recreations. So I hope these tips help you in recreating or designing your own pro designs. I think everyone deserves to have cute designs on their display wall instead of just the generic designs that come with the game. So I would love to see your walls if you end up using it. So if you want to see anything specific, just leave a suggestion in the comments and I'll try to recreate that. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.